Good morning, students. Welcome to the class again. We were discussing palladium coupling reactions. So we were discussing about the preparation of alkynyl halides with the desired stereochemistry. So in this process, we can prepare Z alkynyl halide from alkyne. Not only that, we can also prepare E alkynyl halide, mostly either bromine or iodine. So in this case, reduction with diol H followed by bromine or iodine will generate E alkynyl halide, or we can also generate this E alkynyl halide by reduction with cyclopentadienyl zirconium hydride chloride followed by treatment with either NBS, N-bromosuccinimide, or we can also use iodine for iodine. So if we want bromine, we use NBS. If we want iodine, we will use iodine. So that means that either Z alkynyl halide or E alkynyl halide can be prepared from triple bonds through these methods. This is the complete reaction is addition of hydrohalous acid. So this is what is called hydrohallucination. Not only hydrohallucination of triple bonds, we can also do carbohallucination of triple bonds. That means carbon on one side and halogen on the other side. We are doing carbohallucination. Carbon on one side, halogen on the other side. How we can do this? We can do this by treatment with Grignard reagent in presence of copper. Then treatment with iodine will generate this carboiodination. We can also use HI. We don't use directly, but HI can be obtained from a mixture of these reagents. So the product will be in this case, iodination occurred at the less substituted carbon, whereas in this case, iodination occurred at the more substituted carbon. Iodination occurred at the more substituted carbon. Another method of carbohallucination so when we treat triple bond with trimethyl aluminum and cyclopentadienyl zirconium dichloride followed by iodine, this generates carboiodination. Here the carbo is methyl group, so methyl and iodine at the less substituted carbon. So that means we can prepare alkynyl halides with the desired stereochemistry and position. So we have seen preparation of Z alkynyl halide, E alkynyl halide with hydrohallucination. In this case, we have prepared carbohalogenation. That means addition of carbon on one side, halogenation on the other side. So halogen at the less substituted carbon. Not only that, halogen at the more substituted carbon can also be prepared. So these are some methods for the preparation of alkynyl halides which are used in palladium coupling reactions. Now we will discuss the Heck coupling reaction. What is Heck coupling reaction? Coupling of alkynyl halides or aryl halides with alkenes in the presence of a palladium catalyst and base is called as Heck coupling. Though I did tell you that the stereochemistry of carbon halogen bond will be retained in the palladium coupling reactions, but it is the stereochemistry will be retained in all coupling reactions except Heck coupling. Okay, so in Heck coupling, mostly the major product is E product. That means here the alkynyl halogen stereochemistry will not be retained. So that we will discuss during the mechanism. So the major product in Heck coupling is always E. The major product in Heck coupling is always E alkene. Now we will look at the mechanism of Heck reactions. Mostly these palladium catalyzed reactions are cyclic reactions. Here it is palladium 0 complex and it is an 18 electron system. So in this state, what it will do, it will immediately undergo ligand dissociation. So it loses two triphenyl phosphine ligands. In this case, it becomes again, it is palladium 0 and it is 14 electron system now because it loses two ligands. This 14 electron system now will undergo insertion or oxidative addition. So first it will undergo oxidative addition with an alkynyl halide. So this RX, this could be an allyl halide, alkynyl halide, aryl halide, benzyl halide and alkynyl. So we have variety of RX molecules. Now it undergoes oxidative addition. Mostly this oxidative addition is syn addition. It is syn addition. That means both R and X will add from the same side to the palladium catalyst. So we have palladium. Instead of writing triphenyl phosphine, I will just represent with the L, which resembles, which means ligand. So we have two triphenyl phosphine ligands, L2. Then it undergoes syn addition. So R and X will add to palladium 0 complex. Since it is an oxidative addition, what will happen? The palladium 0 complex is now converted to palladium 2 complex. Palladium 2 complex, and again it is a 16 electron system. It is a 16 electron system. So oxidative addition is possible on the palladium 0 complex. After oxidative addition, it becomes palladium 2 and it becomes 16 electron system. Now we will add an alkene Now an alkene will be added to palladium 2 complex. It is what is called insertion. This process is called insertion. That means the hydrogens on the alkene, mostly the less substituted alkene carbon and hydrogen will undergo insertion. So that means palladium will couple the less substituted side of the double bond. Okay, that means palladium also feels sterical crowding. So that is why most of the time it approaches less substituted carbon. Now, when this alkene undergoes insertion to the palladium complex, I'll write the product. For variation, we will take R dash, this fellow as R dash. So this R is adding insertion. It is undergoing insertion here. Then here we have palladium 2 complex, and then we have HR. To the alkene palladium, it is a syn addition. Again, it is a syn addition. That is why palladium and R are both on the same side. It is a syn addition. So palladium and R group both are on the same side. Then what will happen? It involves in an equilibrium where this carbon will undergo rotation, so that one of the hydrogen will occupy this place, so that hydrogen and palladium will be leaving. So in order to make a syn elimination process, what we need to do, we need to rotate this so that now a hydrogen occupies this place. So when we rotate this, it is possible to rotate both in clockwise direction as well as anti-clockwise direction. When we rotate it in clockwise direction, both R and R dash will become same side. When we rotate it in anti-clockwise direction, both R and R dash will be on opposite side. This is good rotation because we don't have spherical crowding here, right? So generally we will rotate in this direction so that we avoid spherical repulsions. This is more stable, right? If you rotate like this, both R and R dash will create spherical crowding. So to avoid spherical crowding, we are rotating it in a counterclockwise direction. Now this undergoes beta hydride syn elimination. What is beta hydride? This is alpha position with respect to palladium. This is beta position with respect to palladium. Now palladium takes this hydrogen. So that is what is called beta hydride syn elimination. Beta hydride means H with this bonding electrons. So the beta hydride syn elimination now will give us, since it is a syn elimination, R and R dash will be opposite to each other. So what we are getting? We are getting E double bond here. We are getting E double bond here. And of course, the palladium catalyst H and X. Now it undergoes reductive elimination. It undergoes reductive elimination so that these one of them should be halogen. So it undergoes reductive elimination. See, all through these processes, palladium 2, which is a 16 electron system, here also it is palladium 2 complex, it is a 16 electron system. When it undergoes reductive elimination, again it becomes palladium 0, and we have HX, hydrohalous acid. It is an acid, so obviously it will be neutralized by a base. So that is why we are using a base in the reaction, so that this generated hydrochloric acid or hydrobromic acid or hydroiodic acid will be neutralized with base. As I said, it is a cyclic process. After first cycle, then again palladium will be released. It will involve in second cycle. After the second cycle, again palladium will be released. So it involve in cyclic process. Mostly we use it in catalytic amounts. What is catalytic amounts? Catalytic amounts means very less. Generally we use 0.02 mole percent or 0.03 mole percent, something like this. Okay. So in simple, palladium 0 with ligand dissociation first converts to palladium 0 14 electron system. At this stage, it will undergo oxidative addition, which is a syn addition. That means both the alkene carbon and halogen will approach the palladium from same side. Then it will undergo insertion with the alkene. Since it is a syn addition, both R group and palladium will be on the same side. Now we need to remove hydrogen and palladium, so we need to rotate it. We will rotate this in such a way to create less spherical crowding. So we rotate this in counterclockwise so that both R and R dash will be in opposite planes. So we will have lower spherical crowding. Then it undergoes beta hydrate syn elimination. What is beta hydrate? This position is alpha to palladium. It is beta to palladium. So this palladium and hydrogen both from the same side. So it undergoes syn elimination. So that is why it is generating most of the time E alkene. Whatever it is a configuration of RX bond, it doesn't matter, but we will end up with E alkene. Then this palladium 2 complex will undergo reductive elimination to generate palladium 0 and base. So the overall process in Heck coupling is oxidative addition, then insertion of alkene, then reductive elimination. Of course, both these oxidative addition and reductive elimination must be syn fashion. Please take this correction. As I said in the introduction, the stereochemistry of this alkene carbon and halogen will be retained. Okay, I did tell you that it is not followed for Heck coupling. No, it is followed for all the coupling reactions. So the stereochemistry of alkene carbon and halogen, this will be retained. %1 palladium acetate, then 2% triphenyl phosphine, of course a base, and when we heat it at 100 degrees centigrade, what we will get, of course, as I said, this will be retained. Then I did tell you that it should be trans, E double bond. This should be E double bond. So most of the time we will get E double bond. When we look at the reactivity of these halogens, the reactive order of aryl halides in oxidative addition is aryl iodides are most reactive, then aryl tripletes, then aryl bromides, and then least reactive aryl chlorides. We don't use aryl fluorides for coupling reactions. What are these triplets? Trifluoromethane sulfonic anhydride, trifluoromethane sulfonic anhydride. This is called triflic anhydride. Or we can also use N-phenyl triflate. N-phenyl trifluoromethane sulfonamide. These are triflating agents. These two are triflating agents. I'll give some more examples. These triflates, instead of using alkynyl halides, use of triplets is very easy because we can prepare variety of triplets. For example, if we have a carbonyl, then it can be treated with LDA so that it generates enolate. Enolate will be then triflic anhydride will be added so that it will generate O triplet. That means triplets can be generated in a simple fashion than alkynyl halides. So use of triplets is more advantageous. Why? Because we can prepare thermodynamical control and kinetic control triplets so that we can have variety of triplets. So when these two couple, sorry, this is just 0.02 equivalents, and then triethylamine 3 equivalents in DMF solvent. What we will get is a coupling between these two. As I said, we will always get E as the major product. Not only these simple coupling reactions, it is also possible to prepare heterocyclic systems when we have properly placed groups. See, this alkene and iodine, they are very close together. So we can easily prepare heterocyclic systems. So when we look at the number of electron ring size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a 6-membered system. Please take the notes.